Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Saturday, the 4th of October. Well, I've had a real good study, and today's selections are very interesting. The vast majority of selections are at Redcar, and then I've gone to Ascot Racers for their first race. Very interesting. I've gone for big prices. You put them into your bets how you wish. I shall try and explain. So what I did was, as you're well aware, there is quite a significant draw bias normally at Redcar. I don't know what they've been doing overnight. I don't know what they're currently doing now. They won't want to make themselves look daft, in my opinion, because this draw bias is quite significant because low numbers are favoured. And I don't want to bore you with this, but I've got some very interesting, no other tipster, very few race analysts are telling you this little bit. And it isn't about the draw bias, it's something else. So hang on for a second for it and I shall tell you. So basically, I've wanted ChatGPT to confirm what I already know, and it has done. So basically, it said there's 6.6 mils of rain today, and it says had. So I said the last 24 hours. So there's been 6.6 mils. I think that's probably a minimum. I can show you the. This is currently the wind map for Redcar. Forget that because I've been looking at something else. So I'm going to show you the rainfall. So this is currently. No, it isn't. No, it isn't currently. It's 2 o'clock at Redcar. Uh, So I'm going to go back in time. So this is 8:15, 20 to 8. This is in the morning. So I'm going to quickly fast forward because you want yesterday's. So you can see the map marker clearly just there. There's nothing really happening at the moment. But literally, as you get to, we're still into Saturday, early hours. But you're going to see the amount of, let's call it cloud cover. But we know what comes with cloud cover. There's plenty of rain normally. And you're going to see loads of potential rain. Right, you can see it very shortly. It'll start disappearing. Because I'm skipping by an hour, there is quite a large jumps. But I think you can get the gist that they've had quite a lot of rain. However, it is very dry on Redcar seafront because I've had a look this morning. It's extremely windy, but you can see now, look at the amount of rain they've had since basically 12 o'clock yesterday dinner time, Friday dinner time, right through up until basically 11 o'clock at night, Friday. So a good 10 to 11 hours of on and off rainfall, but it has been quite heavy at times. So let me just get into the red carpet. So you're going to be quite interested by this. So they basically confirmed that generally on softer ground, low numbers are favoured. So this is what I want to show you. So I did, just don't bother trying to read it. I'm going to read it out to you. So what I asked Chat GPT to do for me was, could there be any bias due to the um, the direction the runners run towards the finish line? So I've uploaded an image, as you can see. So the two images you can see, the one on the left is the layout of the track, and there's a compass at the side of it. And then what I've also done is the rainfall radar, which I've just showed you, I converted it into wind speed. And the right image, I'm not going to click on it because it just makes the screen a mess. But it'll literally show you which direction the wind is blowing at 2 o'clock, so roundabout race times, and the speed of it. So basically, what I said was, I've uploaded the course map. When I type, I don't always look for spelling mistakes, so clearly you can see there's plenty. I've uploaded the course map and also UK map with wind speeds and directions. Analyze and give me factual verdict on my original question. So it said basically, nice. Those two images help a lot. Track orientation. So what it's saying is, Redcar's straight course runs roughly west to east. And I haven't double checked this. I'm literally going on what it said. We could be completely wrong, but there's no point asking ChatGPT then fact checking it. I'm just going to take its word for it. Yeah, wrongly or rightly. You can fact check if you want. So when horses are in the straight running towards the finish line, they're running eastward or slightly east northeast on the compass. Rainfall. So I don't know that. Basically, they've had loads. Draw bias, it confirms there. So wind influence today. So check this out. From your Met Office map, the wind arrows show a west to east flow, basically behind the horses as they gallop up the straight. So not only is there a draw bias, possibly low numbers, quite significant at times, the wind is also behind them. So on the round track, what that can help is so when there are races that are round the bend, like 1 mile 2 and whatever, quite often the horses that go into the straight first or front runners can be very difficult to peg back. And it could be quite interesting because you might hear the commenters saying another one that makes all, or it's certainly favouring the horses that race up with the pace. Well, I think that could be the case. I don't mind having egg on my face, but don't forget if there is a fast strip, let's say I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe 5 horse widths wide from that far rail. If your horse is held up, as in like held up towards the rear, it's got to come wide on the slower ground potentially and try and make ground from horses that have also got the wind behind them that aren't stopping. So I'm thinking, unless there's too fast a pace, you could see it very difficult to to bring the leaders back. So basically, what it's saying is, so today runners will have a tailwind in the final furlong. I think it's more than final furlong. I think it's 3 furlong. The home stretches from the round course. I think it's about 3 furlong. Obviously, I think they run up to a straight mile on the straight course, which can slightly favour front runners. Yeah, I haven't even read. This is the first time I've read this book because the minute I knew it was heading in the direction or with the horses running towards the finish, I knew obviously what the outcome would be. So, and those on the pace and less resistance make it harder for closers to catch up. So it's literally confirmed what I've just said without even reading it. So at the bottom, in short, the horses finish running east northeast with the wind at their backs on ground that's likely softening and favours low draws. Well, I couldn't have written it better myself. So let's get on to the actual selections. What I'm going to say is Kenneth Quinnell or Kenny Quinnell. Thanks for pointing that out. I hadn't even placed the bet for today on the football bet, but thanks for spotting. So anybody that places the football bet, you will notice that Grimsby don't play Cheltenham. I think that was the original selection. Grimsby play Salford. I inputted that into ChatGPT and it confirmed it's still the Grimsby versus Salford match. Doesn't mean it's going to be successful. It's just saying that's the one that it's still picked. So let's get on to today's horse racing selections. So here we go. So I can't talk you through them individually because it's took me ages to pick them, and I've tried in general, not always, in general, to try and go for low-numbered horses on the. Well, I'll put it this way: I haven't gone for any high-number horses on the straight course. They're not all drawn one. Sometimes they're drawn no higher. I think it is than 8. I think that's about as far as you can go because this draw bias, unless they've been fiddling with the track. I'm not saying anything untoward. I'm just saying I don't quite. Nobody quite knows what they've done, but they don't want egg on their faces by this flagship meeting for Redcar being turned into a farce. Because if you want to see the draw bias, I can't show you now because it's like too. In fact, can I? Right, let me have a quick go at showing you, and I want to show you um how ridiculous this draw bias can get. This was when I first noticed it. So this is off script, not as though I've got a script anyway, but if I can type the horse's name and remember it, I'm sure the horse's name is called Lady Mahita. If it isn't, then I can't show you because this is where I first. If this is trained by, yes, it is. So I'm going to try and squash the screen in. Um, this is when I first noticed. So we are going back a while. Actually, it's this meeting 2 years ago. Or so this is on good. I'm sure this is the race. So this video, it won't take me too much longer, but already it's probably going to be demonetized. So if you could watch it till the end, I'd really appreciate it. I've done loads of research. Doesn't mean they're going to come in, but I don't know if you can able to see it. Right, I'm hoping you can see everything by that because there is some of the screen missing, but I'm hoping that. Will this work? Oh, I don't want to go full. I can't go full screen because I think it stops the recorder. So I want to silence it and click play. So this isn't the race, this is an advert. So I'm going to talk you through it. I will stop it a couple of times. I don't want to keep it going on too long. So Lady Mojito is drawn somewhere just here. So as you can see, this is where the stalls are classed in the centre. Although, to be fair, they're probably closer to the near side, which is the stand side, I think. So this is the area you want to look at. Very shortly, you will know which one Lady Mojito is, but you're not looking at that. It's literally like a diagonal arrow has been drawn across the track, and you can see how they fan out because I'll let them run and let's watch it. Yeah, it's this one. Look, this one's ridden by a Sheen Orr. He knows the time of day straight away, and to be fair, a lot of the jockeys do. But this is absolutely behind bar stuff. This draw bias isn't anything new at this point. It's almost to the point where it's scary. You watch this horse, right, and after so many furlongs, they'll come across a little bit more. But look at the actual. So this horse today, I think it was second favourite or favourite. I think it was either 2-1 or second favourite. It wins like an odds on. It wins like well. It won like Frankel would normally win, like yeah, easily by a decent distance. Look, this ground on this day is considered good to soft. That's exactly what they've given out so far at Redcar. And I don't buy it one bit. Right? It's just in front there, yeah? But look in a minute. I think it's when the screen changes now. Look, you'll see. You can't tell yet. The horses on the left hand side down the centre of the track, look how they begin to stop. Right? It's like Chepstow in heavy ground. Look how this is only a 7 furlong maiden. Look at the distance from first to like fifth. Right? Or even second and third, and now edging over to the far side rail, right? This was only a 2-1 chance, not a 1-10 chance. Look how much they're strung out by. It's a 7 furlong race. It's ridiculous, right? And this is nothing new. So let's get onto the selection because I don't want to keep you too much longer. So here are the selections. So as I said, I can't talk you through one by one because I forgot. But generally, they are they are box stickers. So when it comes to the draw bias and the how they run the tactical the tactics on the day, I can't say how they're going to run tactically on the day because but I have noticed recently some of them have been making the running. So let's get into it. So the first selection, this is the most riskiest one to be honest. I don't even know if it stays, but it's Ed Bethel taking his horses to Redcar. It's they are strong connections. It's although he hasn't got it in this in the ownership description, it's partly owned by Sir Christopher Rye, but it just says Christopher Rye or C Rye. But I recognise the colours, and so will you. I'm not even sure if they used to be the Vulture Culture colours. Vulture Culture, Culture Vulture, Culture Vulture, whichever one it was, trained by Paul Cole years ago. Culture Vulture, I think. So Velvet Whisper at 16-1 in the 11 minutes past 2 at Redcar. I can't leave it out because it's got a sneak. You're best off placing this on Sky Bet for the extra places. Unfortunately, I'm banned on Sky Bet. So it's got a sneak, but I can't discount Ed Bethel, especially in the form that is in. This horse has been running possibly if it wants the 1 mile 2, it's been running a distance that it's got no chance at 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs, and a mile, I believe. Now it's up to 1 mile 2 for the first time. It's probably either going to finish in the frame or tailed off. So Velvet Whisper at 16-1 in the 11 minutes past 2 race at Redcar. You might get a bit of a gist how they run by the first race at Redcar. Unfortunately, though, it's just a 5 runner race, and I can't pick one from that. The next selection is Dandy's Angel at 14-1 in the 246 at Redcar. This horse, I believe, won this race last year, but this race has been split into two. So the 11 minutes past two and the 2:46 are two divisions of the same race. Dandy's Angel ran an interesting race last time. It ran at Hamilton, where it was literally 10, 15 lengths clear all the way around. And I thought to say how quick it was going in the early stages, it stayed on really well. So did they run those tactics based on how they intend on running today at Redcar? I would much sooner have Dandy's Angel employing them kind of tactics, front running, than being held up. Normally, it's a mid division horse and then comes with a late run. But Dandy's Angel, I think if it goes straight to the front, I honestly believe that in the round course with the wind behind, if it can get a lead and it's in front turning for home, I believe there will be a strip, probably about as maybe as wide as, so let's say somebody's standard driveway, yeah, a driveway for a car. I think there will be a strip on that far side rail, two or three driveways wide, that will be massively favourable. If you're a front runner, yeah, you've got room to stretch out, and horses having to go too wide could be in much slower ground. That's how I read it. Dandy's Angel, if it runs the same as it ran at Hamilton last time, where it went straight to the front, pointed its toe on soft ground, which it's probably going to encounter, in my opinion, today, although they've described it as good to soft. I think at 14-1, bearing in mind, I saw 25s last night. I wish I'd have got that price, because I thought, I actually laughed to myself. There's no way. How can you be 25s when you're in okay form going into a race that you won the year before? Well, I've got 14s at best odds guaranteed. I'm happy with that. The next selection, I had the choice of two, and I'm like, I will be kicking myself, not pinching myself. Hopefully, I'm pinching myself and not kicking myself. So the third selection will be, or is, exclamation at 25-1 in the 320 at Redcar. This was a toss up, literally, between this horse at 25s and the Kevin Ryan horse, also drawn low, and I think it's currently second favourite. The more obvious chance is the Kevin Ryan horse, but this horse, it's ridden by Tom Eaves, which I think is really interesting because Tom Eaves generally rides for Kevin Ryan. So as he chose this 25-1 over the second favourite, because Tom Eaves does regularly ride for Kevin Ryan. Well, I do like the replacement rider on the Kevin Ryan horse. It's Oisin McSweeney, because he does seem to ride in the past some good races on some horses that I've selected, but they have both got low draws and they are both front runners. So I think they're drawn something like 2 and 4. So I think they've both got chances. I might even have if there's some loose change in my account, I'll probably even have like a 25p reverse forecast, those two horses. Exclamation and the Kevin Ryan trained second favourite. The fourth selection is Great Dream at 40-1 in the 356 at Redcar. Right, I've gone for this because I'm a bit of a fanboy of the stable. And have a quick thing. Do you know what it is? Because I have tipped when I was tipping winners, not in the current form. It's a Simon Crisford stable, and I think they're a really good stable. So there is a non-runner now. I can't remember what it's called now. Something Zabil. It's the for me. It was the another front runner that I didn't want in the race, or potential front runner, because Great Dream should be up there. Don't get me wrong, this Great Dream, it's achieved hardly anything so far, but I like the fact that they've chucked it in this much deeper race. Simon Crisford, I think they must be. I think it's a listed race. Don't quote me, but I think it is. I'm sure they've been hoping to pick up some black type with this horse. So it's Great Dream, 40-1, trained by Simon Crisford, who knows the time of day, in the 356 at Redcar. Another horse that should be prominent. I'd like it to lead, actually. So the next selection is Mr. Mistopheles, at 11-1 in the 430 at Redcar. I think this horse is well handicapped, but I don't believe it'll be running up with the pace. It should be no worse than mid division, but for me, maybe the wind behind and the low draw doesn't materialise, and I might be completely wrong. But I believe Mr. Mistopheles has got a chance anyway. The Sam England and well, the Sam I won't say Jonathan England. I don't think Jonathan England's on this, but the Sam England flat team, I think she's done pretty well with some ridiculously well handicapped horses. This horse has been running mid division in my opinion, in some warmer races, and that will be egg on my face because technically it's not this is the best race it's competed for a while. So I'm kind of contradicting myself. However, I don't. I think this is a Class Two race in name only. I'm looking at these horses and I'm thinking. I think it's a 0 to 90. I think. Don't quote me. I didn't look at that bit, but the highest rated horse that I saw when I had a quick flick through was 89. Well, I think a lot of these in the past will have run against each other. And I think it's no better than a Class Four. It's just obviously this was Red Card's flagship day. It's okay. I think it's 20 grand to winner or 20 grand pot. And I just think this horse has got a chance and it's well handicapped. So I think 11 to 1, 430 at Red Car. It's got a decent chance. So I've nipped to Ascot. I've just popped to Ascot for one race, and it's the first race. And I've took a decision on the draw, and I'm going for high numbers and that's just from memory. I've done no research whatsoever. But what I do like is I like the fact that Cajole ran in soft ground last time over an extra furlong. William Buick has ridden it twice now, and I have seen both times this horse for me has been cantering, and it hasn't found as much as they wanted. John and Thady Gosden have been mopping up some decent races. I saw him actually win one the other day with a grey horse, I think it was, and it was the outside of the lot, and in a decent race. I think it was at Ascot. It couldn't have been yesterday, surely. Don't think it was yesterday. But I will like watching, and I'm thinking like they're just mopping up these races. And I think Cajole dropped back in trip. It's probably been advised by William Buick, like what you need to do. Like travelled really well. I think you can drop back a furlong, use its travelling speed, and I think it'll bring it into the race, something like that. And it's handled the bad ground, which is soft ground. So I think it's got a chance at 7 to 1. If the draw bias is in its favour, if there is a draw bias, it's got an even better chance. So the bet is it's 10 pence each way, lucky 63. Comes to £12.60. What I would do is, if people like staking more than £12.60 on the horses, I chuck a couple of quid or a quid each way on all of them. But what I would do is, as I said before, I will be having this exclamation in a reverse forecast with the Kevin Ryan horse. So the video is pretty much done now. You're going to see the football video. It's very interesting. We are losing a bit, about 20% of the stake. Yeah, something like that. In every single bet, pretty much, I think, or every single losing bet, we have literally been a goal away. That's quite a contrast to how it is when I normally pick the selections, where sometimes they can be a 0-0 and you've never had a shout. For those that aren't even interested in football, keep an eye on the £150 2 grand challenge. It's attracting a few extra eyes on it. My football videos don't normally get many eyes because people have got their own opinion. Well, as they do on horse racing, but they tend to like to pick the teams. But very interesting today's selections on the football. As I said, the video will pop up any second. Click on it and see what you think. I'll also put the playlist at the side of it so you can go through the previous videos. There's only about 4 or 5 in total. So I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.